We are growing up in a feminized society, and you see a lot of men turning soft. I do believe it's important to integrate the feminine aspects with the masculine to create harmony between the two. But what I see is that a lot of men are disconnected from their masculine core. So, and society is straight up lying to you about this. It's telling you that when you tap into this love and the gratitude and the compassion, that everything will work out perfectly, that you can create all the changes that you want to be making. But how has this been working for you? I see and talk to so many men that are frustrated because they're not getting what they want. They're not creating the change that they want. And they try to tap into this gratitude and this love and all of these things, and it's not working for them. And you know that this is relating to you when you struggle with taking action, when you struggle with consistency and going after what you want, when you struggle and face challenges when you want to express your real truth and emotions. Because you're afraid what people will think of you. You're afraid to hurt someone. You're afraid that people might not like you. So you are afraid to take a stand for what you truly believe in. And what starts happening is that a lot of men, they start complaining and complaining. They become a victim and they become a coward. And I believe the antidote to this is aggression. You want to reclaim the aggressive side of the masculine. And I see myself also often falling into the trap where I become a victim, or when I become a coward, when something bad is happening in my life, or when I face some hardship. And it's important also to know that it's not your fault that this happens, that you fall into this state, because this is how we are programmed in society. We are taught that aggression is bad, that all aggression is bad. And we get taught this at a very young age. I believe every man has experienced this. I have so many examples of this. When I was playing soccer as a little kid, just for fun with a few friends, there was this one guy that was constantly cheating. Like every time I tried to tackle him or get the ball, he would grab the ball in his hands and throw it away and run after it and pass me. And of course, this is not allowed in soccer. So one time I was running at him and he did it again. So I punched him, I smashed him into the ground, and he started crying. He ran to his parents, and within a few seconds, 3 parents were running at me, screaming at me, yelling at me. And at that time, of course, I didn't know what to do. I thought that was unfair. He was cheating, so this is what he deserved. But at that moment, I was not allowed to play with the kids anymore. And after that, I was not allowed to play with them at all anymore. So that was the last time I played with those kids and played soccer with them. And this is how we are taught that aggression is bad. And as a kid, I don't know the subtle nuances to this. So I label every single part of aggression as bad. And I start to repress this kind of energy. And okay, I think I have to be calm. I have to be composed. I cannot express my raw truth. And people start applauding this, like, okay, look how calm he is. Look how controlled he is. Look how stoic he is. But you know how many times, and I know you experience the same thing, you don't want to be calm. You don't want to be composed and in control. You just want to be angry. You want to be frustrated. You want to scream. You want to punch something. And there's no space for us to express these emotions because we feel unsafe in society. We are just judged by society when we express this because all of this aggression is bad. Now, I'm not saying to go around and starting fights with people. This is not the aggression that I'm talking about. But this repressing is dangerous, I believe. Repressing aggression. Because it can come out in such ugly ways. Because when you repress aggression, you hold yourself back. You hold yourself back from speaking your truth. You hold yourself back from taking action and going after what you want. And you know deep down inside that you're coming short. You know and you feel that you're far away from the man that you want to become. And that's frustrating. That creates anger. Because deep down inside you feel pulled to lean into this aggression, and on the other side you know, like, I can't do this. This is bad. And then you become reactive. And this reactive state, that's the dangerous part when it comes to repressing emotions, because that's when it comes out in an uncontrolled way. That's when the anger comes out and the frustration comes out. Now, when you repress aggression, it's also dangerous because people will just walk over you. People will not respect you. And the things deep down inside you will not respect yourself. People will also not trust you. And this is not the place that you want to be in and what you want to be creating. And now it doesn't mean that you have to express all this rage and hate and anger, because there's a subtle nuance when it comes to anger and aggression. I used to believe always that anger is the same thing as aggression. But you can separate the two. There's a difference between anger and aggression. Anger is coming from a reactive place. So something happens outside of you, someone does something, something happens, and you just react out of anger. And reactivity is not a powerful place to be in. And you can separate aggression and anger from each other, because you can choose to be aggressive. And this was such a big breakthrough for me, because if you constantly live from a place of anger, it will destroy you. You can't create nonstop from this place, but you can choose to be aggressive. And this is controlled aggression. This is also what you see with boxers or with any martial arts, where once the fighter gets angry, he loses control. But once he has controlled aggression, he is in control. It's aggression from a very calm place. So that's the place that you want to be in. Now, the question is also, how do you tap into this? How do you tap into this kind of aggression? And I hope even just listening to this and processing this information already creates a space inside of you to allow yourself to tap into this aggression, to give yourself permission that you are allowed to express these emotions. Because aggression is action. That's such a powerful quality when it comes to the masculine. You're able to create something out of nothing. You're able to force yourself to do things, to get emotion, to create whatever you desire and manifest whatever you want in life. That's aggression. Aggression is getting emotion, imposing your will, being the leader of every single step that you take. That's aggression. Now, how do you cultivate this? How do you tap into this? And by the way, I'm not saying to live from this place 24/7. That's not my intention with this video. But you want to create, how do you call this? You want to create a space where you can choose to live into aggression whenever necessary. That's the most powerful place to be in. That you're not only aggressive from a reactive state, but that you can choose it to create powerfully in this world. And one way in how I create this is using strong language in your life. This might not be resonating with everyone, but I believe cursing can be extremely powerful. And it doesn't mean that you have to curse towards other people, but also when you look at your self-talk, how do you talk to yourself? Let's say I want to go to the gym and I'm tired. How do I start talking to myself? Do I say, oh, well, your feelings don't mean anything. Like, you can still take action when you feel very tired. And if I start to talk in this soft and gentle way towards myself, like, what is the likelihood of me going to the gym? I need to move towards fuck your feelings, to this kind of language, to almost tap into that aggressive energy for me to get emotion. You can feel it when you start cursing, that there is a different kind of energy there. And that's when, well, people say, well, don't curse. Like, that's unprofessional, that's this, that. Again, we have all these stories and all these rules of what is allowed and what is not allowed. And also to all of that, it's like, fuck that. Use this strong self-talk, not to talk down on yourself, but to get yourself in motion. That's the intention of aggression. A second thing that because these are just some quick things that you can use. A second thing is change your music. And it's so simple. Tony Robbins talks about this a lot as changing your state. You can change your state by your thinking, by the way you move, by the music you listen to, by all of these things. So instead of listening to some happy pop music when you are procrastinating and you just know that you're procrastinating, put on some hardstyle, hard rock, hardcore, motivational speeches, whatever get you pumped up. Listen to the music, and if you want to add a layer to this, you can even use this aggressive self-talk. You can start creating yourself in the moment while listening to the music. How you are going to conquer these feelings and this procrastination. This is such a powerful way, because within a few minutes you will change your state, and once your state is changed, you can make so much more powerful decisions from that place. So first thing, use strong language, change your music. Second thing is also, or the third thing is, lean into fear and lean into discomfort. This is how you get into the habit of tapping into aggression, because I believe boldness, courage, decisiveness, relentlessness, these things are a byproduct of aggression. And these things are present when you lean into fear. So instead of when you experience fear or when you experience discomfort, you initially want to move away from it. But you want to train yourself whenever you experience these things to lean into it. And it takes aggression. It's very difficult to lean into fear from a place of love. Sometimes it just needs that push or that pull or that force. And once you're in motion, you don't have to continue to create from aggression, but it's usually to get started. And this is not something that some people have and some people don't. You can learn this. This is a habit. This is a skill. To train yourself whenever these feelings come up, to know that I want to move towards this. I want to lean into this instead of moving away from it. Because you constantly have the opportunity to choose who you are being in that moment. You have the opportunity to choose to be a coward or to choose to be courageous, to be aggressive, however you want to be creating yourself. And the fourth quick thing that you can do is use your imagination. And this is, you can use your imagination in many different ways. The way I do it is I create competitiveness. So by the way, this doesn't have to be imagination, but you can also create real competition in your life. Because I believe we as men need competition. And competition triggers aggressiveness. And if you don't have competition around you in some kind of way, that's why I said imagination. This is how I create a lot of competition, by just using my imagination. What I imagine often is that there is some imaginary guy or someone I know that is at the exact level as I am. And we are both doing the same things, taking the same actions. And when I'm tired and when I don't feel like doing something, what I imagine is that he continues doing the work and I don't. I choose to be a coward. And what I imagine is that he will be further ahead of me. He will take opportunities away from me because he was willing to go that extra hour. He was not procrastinating. And these feelings, they trigger me a lot when I'm imagining this. And this competitive energy allows me to tap into aggression as well. So these are 4 quick things how you can cultivate this aggressiveness and tap into this. And again, don't create from the space 24/7. But the thing that I see is that most men are too afraid to be aggressive, and they are allowed to lean more into this, because they will create so much more powerfully, not just for themselves, but also for the people around them. They will earn respect. You can have a way bigger impact from this place, from creating powerfully, than staying back, leaning back, making yourself small. Now, if you are interested, because these masculinity topics are honestly pretty difficult to process by yourself, because you're constantly questioning and doubting what is right, what is wrong, am I allowed to do this? Can I do this? How do other men do this? Like, what does it mean to be a man is a difficult question to answer. And this is why I created a community, the Brotherhood, where men from all over the world come together to discuss and explore these topics. And in this community, you have so many role models that are already showing what it means to tap into this aggressive energy. And once you see this in other men, and once you feel this and discuss these topics and how it's showing up for you, and hear how it's showing up for someone else, this is transformative for you. the way you approach masculinity. So if you're interested to try out this community, because you have the opportunity to experience the group and meet all the guys in the community, you can apply in the description below. There's a form, you can fill it out, and we can hop on a connection call together to see if this group is a fit for you, and you can try it out. And if you're interested to join, the group is such a low investment and it can have a crazy upside if you're willing to put in the work. So I look forward to connecting with you if this is something you're interested in, and I'll see you in the next video.